A construction worker applies his expertise after growing tired of his mother impeding his vehicle. Welcome to our channel, where we share unusual tales, facts, and secrets from across the globe. This is the place to be if you are in awe at the abilities of some of our fellow people and animals. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. He could see right away that today was going to be difficult. Not only was it difficult to haul building materials up a hill, but he also had to deal with an obstinate woman who wouldn't move her car. Although it would cost him valuable work time, he considered phoning the police. Then this insane genius had an epiphany as the woman persisted in dismissing and demeaning him. That woman was going to wish she had never parked there. It's not as though he requested all of that difficulty. Although this was not his first project, he had been engaged as a foreman for a new house build, which was something he had done frequently. There was a 250-foot path that led to the top of the hill where the house they were building was located. This, of course, made their job more difficult, particularly when it came to hauling up materials. Fortunately, there was a silver lining. The building site was allocated 2 parking spaces on the street at the foot of the slope. There were 2 official no parking signs up to discourage anyone thinking about leaving their car there. Sadly, not everyone was deterred from parking illegally by the signs. Half a block from the bottom of the slope was an elementary school, and the foreman soon discovered that parents frequently used those parking spaces. However, that didn't really bother him until one day. As long as there wasn't a truck that needed to park or a planned delivery, he didn't say anything when he noticed a parent parked in one of the designated locations. And when there was, he requested them nicely to relocate, and most of the time they did so right away. A lumber delivery guy called the foreman that particular day to let him know he was headed over. He proceeded to confirm the availability of parking spaces. That's when he noticed it. A car that was idling in one of the designated areas had a woman seated in the driver's seat. The foreman surmised that she was there, awaiting her child's school dismissal. He approached her window and politely requested that she relocate her vehicle. "I'll just be a few minutes and your truck isn't here," the woman scoffed in response. "Hey man, take a calm pill." The timber truck pulled up while the foreman dealt with the hurtful comment. The foreman assumed the woman would relocate her car and allow them to park now that the truck had come, but all she could do was attempt to ignore them while rolling up her window. She pulled her window down halfway and let out a loud "What?" in response to his waving to catch her attention. The foreman informed her once more, but in a firmer voice, that the truck required that parking place. He was rendered stunned by her next words. "Can't you guys just unload around me? Jesus, it's not that difficult," the lady said cynically. Her attitude shocked the foreman, but it also offered him an idea. He approached the truck driver and instructed him to park as near to and parallel to the woman's car as possible. The driver realized what the foreman was thinking and grinned. A taste of her own medicine was about to come for this woman. The porta toilet used by the construction workers was behind the woman's car, and another parked car was adjacent to the 2 allocated places. Now that the lumber truck was in the way, she was almost being boxed in close to the curb. But the woman was too busy pretending not to notice that the construction workers she had just made park in the middle of the roadway were there. However, the foreman still had one more task to complete. To report the problem, the foreman gave the police parking enforcement office a call. "I wasn't attempting to get her into trouble at this particular moment. In order to avoid getting into trouble with the authorities, I just wanted a documentation of the reason we were blocking part of the roadway," he wrote. The policewoman promised to arrive in 30 minutes, but she didn't arrive quickly enough. Then the woman's child showed up and everything went crazy. The mom attempted to open her car door and welcome her kid, but it remained partially closed. By now, the foreman was fully expecting the woman to realize at last what she had gotten herself into and make an effort to get herself out of it. Instead, though, she had the audacity to scowl at him, as though he were to blame for this. Her futile fury would have been hilarious if it weren't for her subsequent actions. She was furious now. She staggered out, clambered awkwardly over the passenger seat. She went up to the driver and the foreman, who were hiding their smiles, after she had put the child in the rear of her car. The lady seems to have just understood that the workers would not give up. She gave the site a furious glance. A large truck was to her left, A porta potty was behind, a car was in front of her, and there was a curb to her right. She was furious now. "I'm rushing a lot," she said. "You need to move your truck so I can go." But the truck driver gave her a shaky response. "Ma'am, we had to unstrap the timber in order to unload it onto the truck." The truck driver, trying not to chuckle, answered, "And according to our company policy, I'm not allowed to move the truck with any unsecured load on it." However, the driver and the foreman could not have predicted the show that was about to take place. The woman was furious and yelled profanities at the truck driver. "I have to go someplace," she yelled. She was unaware, however, that the traffic cop who had answered the foreman's phone had already shown up and was parked behind the truck. The lady shouted at the foreman, and he remained completely composed. He answered politely, but his sharp response made the woman blush. The foreman, smiling, told the woman, "Can't you simply pull around it? It's not that difficult." The enraged woman threw a fit, hurried back to her car, and once more forced her way into the passenger seat. The woman threw her car in reverse and hit the throttle as the police approached the foreman and the driver. Her wheels twisted, and she backed into the porta potty behind her, toppling it with a loud bang. She wasn't done, though. Then she tried to drive across the sidewalk, charging forward. The three bystanders were astounded by what they were witnessing. When she got up on the curb, their grins changed to looks of perplexity. How was she going about this? The woman's car became stuck halfway down the curb, ruining her plan to get out of her parking jail. However, her bad luck didn't stop there. With composure, the policeman approached her and motioned for her to exit the vehicle. After removing her handcuffs, the police ordered her wait on the curb while he phoned for further help. She was still a horrible person, though. The lady attempted to manipulate the circumstances to her advantage, knowing she was in serious danger. She told the police a falsehood, claiming that the foreman had informed her she could remain in the parking space and hadn't even asked her to relocate. The cop, though, would not have it. When the lady refused to move, she informed her that she had received the foreman's first call and was fully aware of the situation. The woman had no chance. "My guy is wrapping up the last of the lumber removal while I and the driver are reporting to the second officer." The foreman remembered that once the driver concludes his statement, he leaves to return to the yard. At the conclusion of the adventure, she was taken into custody and accused of driving on a suspended license, damaging property, the porta potty, and reckless driving. Her son's grandma was compelled to come and pick him up while the woman was brought to jail after her car was towed. The foreman came to the conclusion that although she never really followed my advice to simply pull around it, I think the next time she'll probably think twice before parking in a tow-away zone if she ever gets a license again. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.